to Good Morning Sri Lanka, and Banu and I have been having such a great time, and we've been overflowing with questions because our guests have been so interesting, and we've been discussing alternative lifestyles and alternative ways. I always do a tongue twister on that word.
Each breath I've taken after the after the sessions today added a little more meaning, I think. I'm like,
yes,
thinking word and going down, and I have another thought coming up, and then I breathe again. Another
so breathing
has
now different.
Yes, I think it has, and I think it has, and I think we've got another guest to prove it right.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Another guest who is going to talk to us about Reiki. Now this is very interesting, and who we have is a Reiki master. She's Ms. Dinosha Dalpatatu-Store, who's here with us today to talk about Reiki. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Ma'am, basically now we've had discussions right now about pranic healing, about Praterian system of living,
yes.
and these are relatively new systems that we've been studying, right?
Yes.
And even Reiki is something we're not too familiar with. Could you tell us a little bit about what Reiki means?
Reiki means universal life force energy.
Okay.
You have to learn how to tap into it.
All right.
But if you take a normal person on the street, they are channeling the ki as well, R-E-I-K-I.
Okay.
But we are able to tap a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So when we give a healing to someone, we harness much more energy, and we become a physical channel for the person we are giving healing to.
Okay.
So it comes through our hands basically and onto the person.
So how does it differ from pranic healing and the breatharian exercises that we did? How does this differ from those?
Pranic healing is the ki actually, R-E-I-K-I.
Okay.
So that's the ki. We channel the ki as well as the ray. So
Okay.
it's life force energy and the universal life force as well.
So sometimes you use the hands, but sometimes you don't in this.
No, we always use the hands unless we do distance healings.
Okay.
I think that was mentioned even with pranic healers. We also do distance healings. In that case, you don't need to use the hands because you connect through a deep meditative method to that person, and we send the healing.
Okay, so what do you do as a practitioner, as an expert? You've accomplished, I think. You've learned through another person how it is, and now you're
Yes.
teaching it.
Yes.
What is it all about? And
It's a fascinating experience, deeply spiritual,
okay.
and helps the mental, emotional, and the physical bodies. Not forgetting the spiritual.
So ma'am, when you say spiritual, like there are different types, like it's such a broad word.
Yes.
What do you mean in terms of like Reiki?
Yes.
What does spirituality mean in terms of healing and Reiki?
Once you connect to that energy,
Okay.
if I'm healing myself, I let go of lots of blockages that I may have within myself.
So these are emotional blockages.
Emotional, mental, and even sometimes spiritual blockages.
Okay.
It can also be very technical, it can also be very spiritual.
Okay.
Basically, people come if they are stressed or if they are sick. Some people just come so that they learn to meditate in a deeper manner.
Okay.
I learned because I was sick a long time ago. I had a condition called fibromyalgia, so there was not much the doctors could do for me, so I decided, let me give this a go. And I learned to heal myself. In 1.5 years the illness disappeared, so I'm very grateful I learned it.
Okay.
And that, I think I had to go through it, otherwise I probably would not have gone in so deep into this method of healing nor become a teacher. So
Okay. So ma'am, Reiki is it something that's only available, that can be only like sort of harnessed by people who are undergoing some sort of illness? Or
not at all. 85% of my students
Okay.
are very healthy young individuals who work in the corporate sector. Some are doctors.
Okay.
I'm very honored. A lot of doctors are coming to learn in Sri Lanka. Some are lawyers, some are school children, some are housewives. It's a different...
So what's the appeal for them? Is it the spirituality or?
Some, yes, it is the spirituality.
Okay.
For some, I would say it is just so that they are able to connect to something more,
Okay.
primordial consciousness,
Okay.
if you may call it that.
All right.
And also it de-stresses you. And the several people have had many benefits in their physical body.
I see. So ma'am, when you say de-stresses you, now stress is a huge part of life.
Yes, very much.
Yes,
Yeah.
and corporate life especially, and it brings you down and it sort of pushes
Yes.
you forward as well.
Yes.
So how does Reiki come into effect in terms of stress?
Well, when people learn Reiki and they practice the self-healing on themselves every day, I'm so sorry, I forgot you were there.
No problem.
So when they practice it on themselves, they become very peaceful because the blood flow balances in the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
Because I feel like the atmosphere right now in the studio has changed a little bit and things are really calm and I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, actually when you're with people who practice Reiki or maybe other forms of healing as well, it's they become very peaceful.
Okay.
So I hear that you actually see kind of auras in other people as well. Does
Yes,
it
I-
have any connection with Reiki itself, or is it another talent you have?
Well, I learned how to do that from my teacher, and I give her gratitude for that. But it's something that sort of, as you go along in your journey, it becomes more fine-honed, as if I may call it that.
Okay.
And you become very intuitive in knowing, okay, is the person all right? Are they nervous? Are they feeling all right? Or are they in pain? Are they stressed? You become sort of very intuitive as you keep on healing yourself. You connect to universal life force energy. So
So is there a need for patients to just come if they have a sickness, mental or physical, or is it recommended for anyone?
anyone actually, yes. Even though I learnt it because I was sick. Like I said, 85% of my students are healthy young individuals.
And anyone of any age can learn this, is it? Even
Yes,
a kid?
even a kid. My youngest is 8 years old. And it's very easy to teach children because they don't have any blockages. They're very accepting of it. And when you give a healing, all a person needs to have is a willingness to experience it. That's all. It's
Okay.
not hypnosis, it's not suggestion. If they're open to receiving healing, they will automatically absorb it from us, the physical channel.
And ma'am,
Okay.
one final question.
Yes.
What can someone do if they want to contact a Reiki healer or become a Reiki healer? What is the path that's open for them in Sri Lanka?
There are many Reiki teachers here actually.
Okay.
It wouldn't be hard to find us, I'm sure, if they really want to learn. So I think it's about if they really want to, then yeah, they will
And ma'am,
find.
one more question. Is Reiki something that is open to anyone from any faith? Can they come, and is it like
Yes.
meditation? What does it involve?
Yes, it's like going into deep meditation, and you
Okay.
have this amazing energy that comes from your hands. My first teacher was Muslim, my second teacher was Hindu, my third teacher was Christian.
So it's really a very holistic sort of practice.
Yes, it's
So
just
it's not-
tapping into
It's
universal.
not religious at all.
No, I would say it's just spiritual.
Spiritual, just like what we've
It can
discussed
be very
before as well.
technical as well, because there are many books written on Reiki. So a
Sam, I
lot of
think we
books
should
written.
do another segment on this.
I know all of
I
the
mean, the
things
time
we've
is
discussed
flying.
today. Time is
You
flying,
don't-
and there's
exactly, you
so
don't
much
feel
to
it.
discuss. It's very interesting.
Right on. If anyone is interested in contacting you,
Yes.
if you could just let the audience know your contact details.
Well, I could give you my email.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Dinu, D-I-N-U, Storer, S-T-O-R-E-R at outlook.com.
All right. So if anyone wants to contact Ms. Dora, they can contact her on this email ID and ask you any questions on Reiki.
Yeah, sure. I'm more than
And
happy to.
That's great. And ma'am, thank you so much for joining us
Not at
today.
all. Thank you
and
for
you've
having
been,
me.
You've been a very peaceful influence, I must say. And it's been great to have you. Thank you so much.
And we have a job afterwards to show as
Yes,
well.
we
after
do,
the
we
show,
do.
Where we are going to get constructive advice and
on our auras.
On
I'm
our
really
auras.
excited.
Aura.
I'm very nervous as well. But tomorrow is going to be another special show, Sam. It's
Yes.
going to be on local authors. You see, yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. Characters
Very
going to come as
interesting.
well. So
Definitely.
stay tuned for that too.
And we have a very, very famous guest who's coming to talk about his new cookbook as well.
Yes, and we had Kirby who did the breatharian exercises today, which I think is a huge deal for a lot of people who watch the show today. And of course, we had the pranic healing services as well.
Yes, Mr. Deva Somasundaram
Yes,
and
you can
Mr.
always
Sama
contact him.
Premalar.
Yes, the number is 011-258-0048. 011-258-0048. Okay.
That's right. And also, ma'am, thank you so much for joining us to talk about Reiki. So we've really been discussing alternative lifestyles and alternative ways of healing. And I did not do a tongue twister on the last alternative. Yay!
I think your hand is fine, by the way. by the gestures that you're doing. Thank you so much once again for coming
Thank you
to
for
the
having
studios.
me.
It's been a
Thank
real
you.
pleasure for all of us. It's been a real treat as well. Don't forget to catch GMSL every weekday from 7:15 onwards, and we are here coming to your homes every morning. Have a great day.
Goodbye.